Hi folks, today we're going to take a look at Caroline in Fort Worth, where she goes over the new proposal for the House bill to raise the punishment level of obstructing official duties from a misdemeanor to a felony, and call her out on her blatant hypocrisy and her lies. But before we start today's video, as always, a big thank you to all of my current and new channel members and subscribers. Without all of your support, I couldn't keep the channel going, so I thank you all personally from the bottom of my heart. And if you're new to this channel, please subscribe to the page. Leave a like and a comment because it helps me with the algorithm. Don't forget to check out my second channel, NCR Movie Network, and the podcast, the Craptown Florida Man Power Rankings. Episode 34 is out right now. With all that being said, let's enjoy today's video.
Hey everybody, it's Carolina. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to talk to you about House Bill 3565, and I'm going to give you my reaction to William Vassar's speech to a committee down in Austin about this situation. Right now, if you get convicted of interference with public duties, it's just a misdemeanor. But William Vassar is pushing really hard to make that change of the punishment phase into a state felony. If your police were following the rules, following policy, and following the laws, nobody would want to film them. So it's actually your fault that people are out there trying to hold them accountable and to keep them transparent.
Right.
It's not our fault that they make themselves look bad. It's your fault that your police officers aren't acting the way they're supposed to be acting.
Thank you. So my name is Bill Vassar. I've been a prosecutor at the Tarrant County DA's office for over 22 years. And I want to tell you all what I've been telling the juries the past 2 years when I've been trying these cases. Nobody is saying you can't film the police. Sadly, whether we like it or not, nobody is saying you can't cuss, scream at, or antagonize the police. What we are saying is you just can't interfere with their ability to investigate a case. What we are seeing in Tarrant County are individuals are inserting themselves on traffic stops. They're inserting themselves on domestic violence investigations. They're inserting themselves on warrant service, where police officers are trying to arrest violent fugitives. They're running up to police officers with their cameras. They are screaming at them. They are cussing at them. They're demanding their name and badge number. And they are physically getting in their investigation. And the problem with that is it's a public safety issue.
Hey, Bill, it's absolutely paramount that when you go before a committee like this, that you're truthful. That you have to be truthful, because that shows that you have ethics and character. Because if they find out that you weren't truthful, they'll never believe you on anything else.
It's funny that she says that he needs to be truthful because it shows that he has ethics. Well, look at all the other frauditors we've ever seen. They call themselves independent journalists, meaning if they are a journalist, they must follow the 5 key standards and ethics of journalism. But they don't do that. They don't show any ethics at all when it comes to being a journalist. You know, where's the non-bias from you? Where is the humanity from you? Where is the ability to separate facts and truth from lies and rumors? You don't do that. You spread them yourselves.
Because I know for a fact that you cannot produce one piece of body cam footage that shows any YouTuber from Tarrant County who actually physically interfered with a police officer and inserted themselves into the situation. You can't find one piece of body cam footage. So why would you tell a committee that this is happening with YouTubers when it's not?
Okay, I like a challenge.
That's unethical.
Because I'm amazed in the 20 or 30 cases that I've dealt with in Tarrant County that nobody's gotten hurt.
Bill, you just said just now that you had 20 or 30 interference with public duty cases that involved YouTubers. That can be verified. So why would you say something like that? And secondly, why would you say nobody got hurt? I got hurt. I almost got murdered by one of your officers. So don't say that that never happens.
Now, Caroline did get hurt in her arrest last year when Officer Kruger had to take her to the ground. And I am sorry that she did get hurt. However, she's being very misleading. She's making it seem like the officers just roughed her up for no reason. She was given multiple orders and commands by not only Officer Kruger, but other officers to get out of the private parking lot that she did not have any business in. They even told her to go across the street if she wished to film. After making multiple claims and screaming out the words rape and fire multiple times, is when she was arrested for interfering with them when they were trying to tow away vehicles. So, Caroline, where's your ethics and telling the truth here?
So why do we need to make this a felony? Because we are just having the same group of people are getting arrested over and over again. A couple days in the Tarrant County Jail is worth it for them to post it on YouTube and make money off of it.
And there it is. You said you want to change it to a felony because of the YouTubers, the same YouTubers that are getting arrested over and over again, trying to get arrested so that they can go to jail and get content. So you're targeting the YouTubers. Well, let me tell you something. Instead of changing the punishment phase, you should change the front part of the law because it's very vague and very confusing. In fact, it's so confusing that most of the time, these interference with public duty charges get dismissed because we were arrested unlawfully. And I have some examples of that right here. This is Texas Penal Code 3815, interference with public duties. A person commits an offense if the person with criminal negligence interrupts, disrupts, impedes, or otherwise interferes with a police officer. Here's case number 1 with Manuel Mata, arrested for interference.
You got a guy with drugs here, sir. Sir, you cannot be here in the spot. You can report over there. Sir, you got to report.
What's your name and your badge number?
So, sir, you're going to be arrested for interfering.
What is your name and your badge number? If you touch me, you will lose qualified immunity. I'm on the public sidewalk.
Stand on that side over there, sir.
No, I don't have to.
So you're interfering. Okay.
Nah, you call your supervisor. If you're going to put your hands on me, call your supervisor. Because this is the sidewalk.
I've already asked you to move.
I'm not trying to hear this.
I want to thank Caroline for providing with some evidence here that I can debunk, because as we can clearly see, the officer told him that he could still film, but they are dealing with a suspect that has narcotics and they are trying to search him. They're not denying him his rights to film the police, but instead of saying, okay, where would be a good place for me to stand so I can film, he continues to ignore the officer and demanding the badge numbers and names of the officers. It's preventing them from performing the course of their duties. That would be interference. Now, a lot of the frauders like to say that it has to be a physical thing. Well, if your actions are distracting the officers from performing their duties, that does count as a physical obstruction in a way. But let's just take away the physical aspect. You are still distracting the officers from performing their searches, their traffic stops, and executing their warrants. And clearly, Manuel has a known history of interfering with police.
You have to understand people's rights.
I've already asked you to move, sir.
Nah, go ahead.
So I've already asked you to
Call
move.
your supervisor.
I've already asked you to move.
Call your supervisor. I don't listen to
you cannot step over
unlawful
here.
and illegal
You cannot
orders.
step over here.
Call your supervisor. You just threatened me with
Sir,
arrest.
you cannot step over here.
No.
Put your hands behind your back.
Nah, don't touch me.
Put your hands behind your back.
Don't touch me.
Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. If you're interfering, put your hands behind your back.
Go ahead. Do what
If I gotta
you
stop doing what I'm doing
what
because
you
you're
want.
interfering, I have to. You're gonna be handcuffed.
I'm a First Amendment protected
So I
activity.
understand that you
Call
can
your
record, but if I
supervisor.
have to stop to do what I'm doing.
You kidding me? This is a supposed bad guy way down here. Look how far away the officer traveled away from him. And look at, there's people in between Manuel and the bad guy. So why did they arrest Manuel? Retaliatory purposes and because he had a camera. No one else had a camera, so no one else got arrested. In our second scene, this happened to me. They'd already taken the bad guys to jail. Everything was over. Everybody was leaving. I was in my car. I was giving a recap on what I had just seen, and I noticed that the tow truck pulled up. So I wanted to get a couple shots of the tow truck before I left. So I walked back down on the sidewalk and started taking pictures of the tow truck. And then this is what happened next. What is this? This is how they park? Look at this. Oh my God. Somebody, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. Look at how they park. That's surrounding these people.
Carolina, you're not surrounding having sex with your kids, are you?
What?
You're not having any more sex with kids, are you? Like you did when you were a teacher?
Where'd you hear that?
That's what I heard. Is that true?
What do you think?
I don't know.
Can you believe
gotta
that?
back up. Back
Oh.
up. Back
Hey,
up.
wait, I'm falling. Hang
Carolina,
on.
back up. Back up. You're more than welcome to film. Just get film right over here. Let's walk over there.
I want to go over there and talk to that guy.
You gotta sit right.
Now we have an example of Caroline getting arrested for interfering and obstructing official duties. Notice how far her camera is zoomed in. She could have stayed on the sidewalk and got that close with her camera lens. Why would she need to get any closer? She only got closer because she wanted to interfere and talk to somebody. She could have simply asked the officer if somebody could speak to her about what's going on, and they more than likely would have. I mean, a prime example of a good situation like this would be with Ironton Auditor. He does cop watching, and when he doesn't make it about himself. He stands at a respectable distance away from the officers, and they'll even come up to him and talk to him about the stop and what they are doing and how they've done it. And guess what? He doesn't interfere with them. The police actually welcome him. They know him by name, and they cheer him on for doing it and showing good words of police. But with Caroline having her camera so zoomed in, we don't know what's actually going on. All we're hearing is audio and seeing blurred footage.
Situation number 3. Officer Bengo dangerously leaves his traffic stop way the heck down the street so he can come back and mess with Manuel. He pushes Manuel back where he can't see or hear anything that's going on. How can you film when you can't see or hear anything?
Back to that sign. You're welcome.
Call your supervisor, Bengo. Call your supervisor.
This is the second time.
There's no law that says that.
Back there, it's a reasonable space.
No, is no such thing as a reasonable
Do
space.
not move beyond
Put up
this.
crime scene tape then.
No, I don't have to.
I can walk down the sidewalk, dude. It's not illegal to walk down the
You may walk
sidewalk.
down the sidewalk, but you are not allowed to interfere.
I am walking down the sidewalk.
You can stay right here if you want.
I'm walking that way to the floor. The fuck are you talking about?
Shenanigans.
Na 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 na
Shenanigans.
na 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 na.
And we're calling shenanigans, folks, because in the 3 situations she's shown us, we've clearly seen them interfering and obstructing. She's trying to make the claims that the police are abandoning their scenes and abandoning their investigations to retaliate against them because they're being filmed. That's not true. Look at the first situation we saw with Manuel Mata. The police even told him that he could film, but they're dealing with a suspect that has narcotics. And they told him where he could stand and film. Look at Carolina. In her second situation she provided us, she was able to zoom in so close that by the time she got onto the scene where the officers were telling her to step back, we could barely see anything because the camera was so zoomed in. And now in this third example, she's trying to make the claims that the officers are abandoning and forcing them to be in an area where they can't film, and Manuel Mata saying, well, he's just walking. He's walking to the store. Then why stop? Why argue with the police? If you wanted to get a good spot, why not walk further ahead where you could have passed and been at a safe distance and film if it wasn't about trying to prove a point to the police or harass them?
Sir, you cannot move past.
I can walk down the fucking sidewalk. Is it true or not?
You cannot.
Is it true or not? Can I walk down the public sidewalk?
You've been
Yes or
warned
no?
multiple times. It's your choice.
Can
what
I
happens next.
walk down? So you're making me stand right here.
We are allowed to film the police, but they push us so far back, we can't.
Yes, for the investigation.
Investigation. How about that? So you're telling me I can't walk down that way?
Yes.
Okay. Can I or not?
Come on, turn around. Put your hands behind your back.
No, that's not how this works, man. Call your supervisor.
Here's another example of how they use free speech to arrest somebody for interference.
Yeah, I know. I see his loser ass. What's your name and your badge number?
3305.
There you go. Now you have his name and badge number. You okay? Yeah, he's known for being a loser. Being a all right, man? Hey, I don't man. Go ahead. Do what y'all have to. Why?
Because we said send over by the ice machine. Right now, you're interfering with the investigation.
No, being in between y'all and them is interference. It's interference. Y'all don't know what the about.
Hey,
You're a supervisor. Get these motherfuckers on. You're a supervisor.
Now, as we saw the video start, Manuel was at a good distance. They were still allowing him to film. He could still hear the conversation. He could still pick it up on his phone. But yet, we see him start walking closer and closer to the gentleman that the police have stopped. That is him interfering with the investigation by getting himself closer and closer into the situation. The officers told him to stand by the ice machine. The ice machine is still giving him plenty of area to film the police, to hear the conversation, and if he so wanted to, he could just buy the equipment to pick up the conversation like a lot of fraudsters have. A parabolic microphone can actually pick up the conversation by having it pointed on the gimbals that they all use.
Now!
I need to talk to your supervisor. Get your supervisor here.
Get on it.
Look what y'all doing to him.
Behind the ice machine.
Look what y'all doing.
What are you doing?
Our understanding that interference occurs when you come between them and the person they're dealing with. That didn't happen here. But Harvey Freebird is manhandled, put in handcuffs, and taken to jail for interference. And the case was dismissed because it wasn't interference. As you can see, the goal of these police officers is to keep anybody from filming them. That's why they arrest unlawfully for interference. Just like in this one. Let me set the scene up for you. That's me right there. This is two female officers just walking along the parking lot. They're walking back and forth. Here's Officer Kruger sitting in his vehicle. And over here are a couple more units. So as far as I know, I'm allowed to film officers in their daily duties. I had been walking around this parking lot for about 30 minutes. And let me tell you what there was not. There was not any instruction for me to leave.
That's cap! Totally cap! That means lie!
They weren't talking to any suspects. There are no cones or tape or any markers telling me to keep out. Other pedestrians are walking through. How would a reasonable person even know they were investigating anything? And if you watch, I didn't go over to Officer Kruger to interrupt him. He came out of his car, and 13 seconds after he said my name, I was knocked unconscious on the ground.
And post them to her YouTube channel. We're about to show you the body camera footage from the arrest, but we want to show you and warn you it is considered disturbing.
Caroline, we're busy. Go to the other side of the street. You can go.
There's no investigation. There's no nothing.
You can go to the other side of the street. You're going to get arrested. I'm not warning you again.
What are you talking about?
Go to the other side of the street right now.
Wait, tell me why first. We're doing it.
You're under arrest. Turn around.
Now, according to Rodriguez, she was knocked unconscious in that moment. Another officer on scene says she is bleeding in that video right after she was brought down. She was taken to the hospital and then to jail afterwards, charged with interference with police duties. She was sentenced to 30 days in jail for that, but she is appealing the verdict. The Fort Worth Police Department found Officer Kruger's use of force unjustified and a violation of department policy.
Now, Caroline said that she was not told, but by any of the officers who were there that night, that she couldn't be in that parking lot and film. Well, actually, she was told multiple times, and I have proof of that. Let me show you.
Oh, they're going to ignore me too. Help! Rape! Fire! 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 That's great community relations too. How do you know if they paid or not, ladies? Hey, ladies! Hey, ladies! Hey, ladies! Hey, Kruger! No, I'm not going to the floor. There's no investigation. There's no nothing.
You can go to the other side of the street. You're going to get arrested. I'm not warning you again.
What are you talking about?
Go to the other side of the street right
Why?
now.
Wait, tell me why first.
You're under arrest. Turn around.
No, I'm not under it. Okay.
Now, we clearly heard Officer Kruger tell her twice to go across the street. Once before he said he was going to arrest her, and once before that. She continued to stay there on a private parking lot. They leave out that information because it doesn't suit the narrative. And when they go to the news and they report these, then yes, it also gets cut out. And I'm not defending Officer Kruger's use of force. He was wrong in that. He was found wrong in that, and I cannot condone that. But the fact that she's lying and saying that she was never warned is just a bald-faced lie coming from Caroline.
On this one, they'd already taken the bad guy to jail, and this officer was supposed to wait until they towed the car off. There was no investigation going on, but this happened.
I'm trying to get behind the line. If you don't get behind the line, I'm going to arrest you for interference.
And your shit's done. What are you investigating? What are you investigating?
That's on you. That is on you. What crime is that, bitch?
It's not interference.
Which one?
It's not interference.
There's about 10 of them. Which one?
What? Are you serious?
Are you serious? Because guess what? I can debunk that clip too, because I covered that video. And she's leaving out some very crucial information that would actually debunk her arguments for that video. Again, please allow me to show you.
Excuse me, no. I'm not going to tell you to stop videotaping. However, we're conducting a field sobriety test
Oh, yeah.
on him.
Did you tell him he didn't have to do that? Did you tell him that he had a choice?
We did tell him.
No,
that.
you didn't.
We did. It's on camera.
No, you didn't. Why would he do it if you told him that he had a choice?
Well, that was his choice to do it.
Because you didn't tell him he didn't have to do it.
We did.
What if happens if you don't take it?
So right now, when you walked behind us, it distracted him from the stimulus that officer's providing.
No, it didn't. I walked way around.
And you're in front of his field of view right now, and you distracted him from doing so.
Who did?
Okay? You did.
Distracted him from what?
From the field sobriety
No,
test.
you did because you walked up to me.
Okay, we're done.
Okay, I guess we're done.
So this crack right here in the ground.
Why am I
that's
detained?
crack,
You
okay?
can't detain me.
You're not detained.
I'm
telling you
detained. You're telling me I can't step past this line, and I'm
You're not-
detained.
you know, if you pass
I'm
this line,
detained.
I'm
I'm
gonna arrest
detained.
you for interference if you pass.
Are you stupid or something?
Interference is a physical thing, man. Can't arrest me for free speech. Cannot arrest me for free speech. He tried to say that he told him he didn't have to take it. He said that he didn't have to take it, that he had a choice. He said he gave him a choice.
Now, we just heard that the officer told her that she could film, but please do not cross a certain line that's on the parking lot. Nothing wrong with that. He's telling the same thing to Manuel Mata. Now, let's watch what happens after the suspect has been taken into custody and the officer is still trying to wait for the tow truck to secure the vehicle that needs to be impounded.
There's Manuel Mata.
Okay.
I'm going to get this guy's name. I'm going to tell his lawyer everything that y'all did wrong. Learn Spanish, Gordito. Go to the gym and get on the treadmill. Well, this investigation's over. 2 of the cruisers have already left along with the prisoner. Now we're down to just 1 cruiser waiting for the tow truck. Investigation's over now. I'm walking away because I don't want to get arrested. Just gotta wait for the tow truck. You didn't give him a choice. Don't be a liar. Why don't you do things the right way instead of lying like that? You know, it's not really a win if you cheat when you win. I could have driven that truck home, but they didn't give me a chance. Yeah, 1 on each side. Hey, when's the last? Uh-oh.
I'm not trying to get behind the line. If you don't get behind the line, I'm going to arrest you for interference.
And your shit's done.
I am not done. I'm still working.
What are you investigating?
Well, no, because now you're going to be videotaping somebody's personal information.
What are you investigating?
That's on you.
Get behind the line.
That is on you. What crime is that, bitch?
It's not interference.
Pick one.
It's not interference.
There's about 10 of them. Which one?
What? Are you serious? For what? No, he's not. Why are you doing that?
Get my phone. I just asked you which one.
Yeah, all he did was
Go ahead.
all he did was ask which one.
This is illegal, bro.
Now, we just saw the 2 comparisons of what Caroline showed as an exhibit and what I showed to debunk it. Debunking channels like myself, Frauditor, Frauditor Roundup, Team Skeptic, Lucid Lair, all of us who put out these videos show the truth. And the truth is this. In my video, Caroline and both Manuel were told multiple times to not cross a certain line. Not to mention, they both surrounded the officer on both sides of his vehicle. That does become a distraction. He is not done with the investigation because he has to wait for the tow truck to come to secure the vehicle because it will be impounded and can be used as evidence. And if it's left unattended, that evidence can be corrupted or manipulated. Another unlawful interference arrest. This one involves Cody High Roller.
was going to walk across the street to film what the police were doing when this happened.
I don't care if you record, but you're going to wait right there and not interfere with our investigation.
Do you even know what the interference law is?
And get out of the road.
I'm allowed to cross the road and stand on a public sidewalk. Yeah, I can stand on a public sidewalk, ma'am.
You're not on the sidewalk, you're on the road.
That's because you tried to stop me.
Huh?
I guess I'll stay on the sidewalk then.
What did I tell you? Would you like to go to jail for interference? I said,
You don't.
wait over there,
Interference is a
interfere with
physical
our
act, ma'am.
investigation.
I'm not interfering with your investigation,
You are in
ma'am.
the middle of the road right now. So wait over there.
Do you have crime scene tape up?
Wait over there.
You have crime scene tape up, ma'am?
Wait over there like I told you.
What's the interference law? You don't even know the law, do you? It'd be an unlawful arrest if you arrest me. What's your name and your badge number, ma'am? It's not interference. Interference has to be a physical act.
Again, the police told him he could film, but he chose to ignore what they told him and to stay on the other side of the road while they were doing their traffic stop. He wanted to get close enough where he would be in the area of interfering. Not to mention, he's standing in the middle of the road after they've told him multiple times to get out of the road. Now, let's jump ahead some more to see Carolina argue more about this unjust enhancement of the law.
I'll tell you the only thing that I've seen personally in Tarrant County are our frontline officers.
Wait a minute, you just said this group that consists of me and Manuel Mata, have physically interfered with domestic violence situations and people who deliver warrants. Now you're saying it's just police officers at traffic stops?
Couple of things. He's not saying it's just you and Manuel Mata. It's you, Manuel Mata, BZ Watchdog, Cody High Roller, Harvey Freebird, and all your other Fort Worth crew that go around doing this. Yes, we have seen Cody High Roller and Harvey Freebird interfere on warrants being issued out. We have seen Manuel Mata interfere in domestic violence situations. We have seen them go to disturbance of the peace calls and harass the cops while they're trying to de-escalate a situation. We've seen them go even to nose complaints. But no, it's because you guys keep interfering that you keep getting these light sentences. And when you do get arrested, you guys crowdfund through your followers to get the money. Not to mention, you're getting monetization by uploading the live streams and getting super chats and super thanks, PayPal donations, Cash App donations. You guys are taking what could be maybe a $200 fine and maybe a couple of days in jail and pocketing the money from this. That's what he's upset about.
And just more lies.
So, Mr. Vassar, I had similar concern to Representative Moody. I think you could probably tailor this to peace officers in A1 and be better off. Certainly, I agree with you. It can endanger officers. One of the concerns that I have is the breadth of the statute as it relates to interrupting, disrupting, impeding, or otherwise interfering with. And it seems to me that captures a broad range of conduct, right? How are peace officers trained on what constitutes a violation of this provision? Because it's pretty easy to imagine an interruption of a peace officer.
Sure.
And it certainly different from an assault or a true interference preventing a police officer from handcuffing somebody or something along those lines. So can you just explain that to me?
Sure, and I can explain what Fort Worth PD is training their officers to do.
Okay.
Fort Worth PD is telling their officers, find a line of demarcation, meaning that chair right there. Sir, you're welcome to film over there, but you've got to stay by that chair, okay? So that's what we are training them to do. The problem is, these individuals are not doing that, right? These officers are having to say 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times, you've got to stand over there. They give individuals multiple times, and then they finally say, look, if you do it one more time, we're going to arrest you.
It's because every officer's feelings are different and every officer's comfort zone is different. You have to make a rule. You have to make a rule to define what is interference.
And I would agree with Caroline on one thing. There needs to be a rule stating how far they can be from interfering with the officers to prevent them from being arrested and preventing the officers from having their investigations interrupted. Such like the Florida Halo law, where they have a 25 feet rule. If every state would adopt something like that, that would prevent these people from being arrested and from interfering. Because then, if they violated the law or the Halo rule, they could be charged. That is the best thing to do in this situation. It's not telling them they can't film, and they're not even doing that. We've seen in every clip the police tell them that they can film. It's the fact that they keep interrupting them and interfering that they keep getting arrested.
So these officers are trained to really, tell them to stay over there, be calm with them. They're welcome to film, but they've got to get out of their investigation.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Bill, I want you to prove that you were being truthful to this committee. I want you to show me one piece of body cam footage that shows a YouTuber interfering physically with a police officer. You also said that you were messing with 20 to 30 cases last year that involved interference. I want those case numbers. That can be verified, right? Afterthought. You said we were here to make money. So how come those videos that you said where we physically put ourselves into situations, why aren't those on our channels making money? Never thought of that one, did you? Thanks for watching, everybody.
And we're going to end it here, folks. She says that the videos aren't on their channels, but yet they still are. The live streams are still there. The videos are still there. A lot of the times, they copy them and take them down because their lawyer tells them to. But then they'll re-upload them under a different title or the same title and just call it a re-upload. So if you guys like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Leave a thumbs up and a comment because it helps me with the algorithm. Don't forget to check out my second channel and the podcast. With all that being said, be well, be safe, and I'll see you guys next time. And a special thank you to all members of the news team. Without all of your support, I couldn't keep the channel going. So I want to thank you all personally from the bottom of my heart. You guys mean the world to me, and I could never thank you enough with all of the words of support you guys give.